Hello from beautiful Austria. We are back at Golf Club Meerhof, about 2 hours from Vienna, for the start of the Legends Tour season 2022. This time around there's more tournaments, new venues, more prize money, but this is where it all begins. The Legends Tour was here in the autumn. It's just over 200 days since Mauricio Molina picked up a maiden tour win here. This is the third time that the Legends Tour has been at Meerhof, and it feels very much like home.
It's just one of those tournaments on the schedule that we all love coming to.
The food and the staff and golf course, and it's an absolute dream to come down and play.
The fact that everything's on site, it's nice to have a breakfast and walk out onto the putting green and hit a few putts.
When they announced the tournament here in Austria, I thought, wow, what a place to play.
Everything about this event has just been unbelievable.
Coming up, we'll meet the Swedish duo making their debut on tour this season. Some of the players take part in a pinpoint accuracy par 3 challenge, and we'll have the best of the action from the Riegler and partner Legends tournament. I'm very excited about the start of the season. The players are too.
This year we've got at least 17, I think, or 18 events. We might have another 2 or 3 events on top of that, so it's going to be a great season.
Going to different parts of the world this year. We might go down to Africa, and so it's nice. I'm really looking forward to it.
There is more competition, more good players, new players on tour. So it's going to be interesting to see the new season, and I think everybody is willing to go now and just let the birdies go in.
And it's great to see so many familiar faces back here for the season start in Austria. Now let's go to some new faces. There are 4 debutantes here in Graz, and I've brought 2 of them to this Castle Rabenstein, just about a couple of miles from the course. Good afternoon, Nicholas Fast. Good afternoon, Michael Johnson. How nice to see you. Let's get you ready and hit some balls off the top of a mountain. So the challenge is a pin, which is actually 215 yards, did we decide?
Yeah, ish. Part of that downhill, I think.
Okay, a little bit. All right, nice and easy. Oh, Michael, not bad. Just short, but on the line of the pin. Nicholas, how are you? How's your game? What have you been doing?
I'm well, thank you. I've been coaching the Swedish golf team for a few years now, and I've kept practicing some golf, but I really don't have a clue how the game is. Ask me tomorrow, but it feels all right, and I'm really thrilled to be here. I look forward to it.
That is just right of the pin. Michael, how have you been keeping yourself out of mischief?
I've been doing loads of things. Driving around with my family, doing the cooking and helping my wife's business.
So
and
not being on tour?
No, well, I'm doing some teaching as well in between, and then trying to practice.
From here it's the size of a pizza, and that's not much help really.
I'm happy with that.
What's it like being the babies of tour?
That's a new feeling, I must admit, and I'm sure it won't last, but it's kind of cool to meet all the guys again. And yeah, we start at a very nice place. You get well taken care of, and the golf course is nice, and didn't know what to expect, so it's all very positive.
Okay, this is it for glory. should we just say whoever goes out and does better this week on tour wins?
Fair enough. That's very fair.
All right, gentlemen, thank you so much. Good luck this week.
Thank you.
Lovely
Thanks
to
for
see
having
you.
us.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Time to head back to Golf Club Murhoff and have a look at who the main contenders were across rounds 1 and 2. Your commentators are Kit Alexander and Paul Eales.
Thank you, Georgie. Yes, Paul Eales hit the first tee shot of the 2022 Legends Tour season. What was it like to have that honour, Paul?
It was a super honour and managed to get one down the middle, and I was very, very happy with it.
Oh, you're never anywhere else, are you? Of course, the other big story of the day was 12-time Sunshine Tour winner Adilson de Silva. He got an invite after writing to the organisers and made sure he wasn't going to be missed in this outfit. He made the most of his opportunity. He couldn't convert this birdie attempt on 18, but he signed for a fantastic 7 under par 65 to lead after day 1.
You know, I was fortunate to hold 1 or 2 putts in the beginning, and then that's mentally, I think it's you get a momentum and things, so that helped me a lot.
Juan Quiros had this putt for a 65 in round 2. It wasn't to be, but he still shot his age with an extremely impressive 66. That was a good recovery following a 1 over par 73 in round 1. 3-time Legends Tour winner Chris Williams holed this monster putt en route to back-to-back 69s and a 2-round total of -6. Well worth the fist pump. James Kingston won the final event of last year in Italy, and he picked up where he left off with a 68 on day 1 and recovered from being 3 over through 5 holes to post a 70 in the second round. Gary Wolstenholme showed off his short game prowess with this excellent bunker shot, and he was one of 5 men to start with 2 rounds in the 60s, with scores of 67 and 69 getting him to -8. Germany's Thomas Gergler was tied 3rd here last year on -12, and he sat at 7 under par after 2 rounds with scores of 69 and 68 this time. But it was all about Euan McIntosh in round 2. He was bogey free for the entire tournament and 7 under for his round as he played this into 18. Paul, you were playing alongside him. How impressive was it?
Oh, it was a fantastic round of golf. 64 could have been lower, and he was faultless other than maybe just clipping a tree on the 15th, but he up and down it for a par, and this a closing birdie. What a round of golf it was.
It's weird, you know, because you know that it's a good score, but it doesn't really, you know, tomorrow if things worked out and you know you end up winning, fantastic. But yeah, it's a great score, I like it, but yeah, I said to the other guy, it doesn't really mean anything at the moment.
Heading into the 3rd and final round, it's McIntosh who holds a 3-stroke lead following his magnificent 64.
So you've had a chance to see a bit of the course in the highlights of round 1 and 2. Earlier in the week, I sat down with home favourite Marcus Bria, who gave us a little bit more detail. Tell me about this course, because it's a parkland course. What are the complexities of it?
It's a funny course. It's an old course, so it's not too long, but actually it's a tough start. The first 6 holes you have to get over reasonably well, and then you got the scoring holes from 7 to 14, and then you got an interesting finish again.
This is a course where you've won, and you've played. What does it take to win? What is the key?
You have to obviously keep the ball in play. There are a few hazards around, a little bit of water, and like I said, you have to try to stay around level first 6 holes.
Greens wise, what can the players expect this week?
A few greens are pretty flat, but like number 5 or 6, there's some big humps on the sides. You have to be on the right side of the green, otherwise you've got no chip, and not even impossible, it's no chip, and so you have to be a bit careful with your approaches.
It appears to me this is the kind of course where you test the thesis that trees are 90% air.
Yeah. Yes, you will have that shot sometimes, yeah, and you have to be really good with your low chip and run or punch out of the trees a few times.
Good luck this week.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. So the entire field are out, save for the final group about to tee off. And the big question is whether the Scotsman Euan McIntosh can hold his nerve and a 3-shot lead for a maiden tour title. Your commentators are Kit Alexander and Paul Eales.
Yes, a huge day ahead here for this man, Euan McIntosh, in Austria in search of a first Legends Tour win. What will he be feeling right now, Paul?
Well, very nervous, Kit, and never easy to come back and play a second day after a wonderful 64. Not a great opening tee shot.
Andrew Rate just up ahead. 195 yards, but playing about 188, Paul?
188 on the Sunday it was, and it's great to see Andrew out now, physically fit after that horrific injury that he sustained when that Alsatian bit the end of his finger off a few years ago.
Yeah, golf a difficult enough game as it is without having to overcome things like that. So McIntosh got a little bit fortunate here, but having to come out sideways by the looks of it.
Trying to draw it round there, and Euan's got all the shots. A very, very accomplished player and has been for a long time.
First look at James Kingston, the experienced South African, 11 times a winner on the Sunshine Tour, and using a yellow ball, Paul.
I love those yellow golf balls. You can see them so much better than the white ones, and more of the senior tour players are using them.
Well, he will not have taken his eyes off of that one as it lasered towards the flag there. So a great opportunity for an early birdie for Kingston. But McIntosh, well, with work to do and lots of work to do for an opening par.
Yeah, didn't have any chip shots at all on that second round of 64, but left wanting there.
Chris Williams playing alongside Kingston and Rate. Another yellow ball. I hope they both marked them differently.
Yes, I played with Chris on the second day with Euan, and again playing really, really well. Solid shots into the green.
Thomas Gergler playing alongside McIntosh in the final group, and he's also missed this opening green in regulation. Using a lot of loft. Oh, and making a much better job than his playing partner, but that's just released on. Looks like there's a little bit of fire and speed in these greens, Paul.
Yeah, a little bit firm to pitch to. Thomas looks stern, but he's one of the friendliest, funniest guys on tour.
Gary Wolstenholme, the Tiger Killer in his day, beating him, of course, in the 1995 Walker Cup. Does he ever tell you that story?
Once or twice, but he is Legends Tour royalty because he has met the Queen. Gary Wolstenholme, MBE. Don't forget that, kid.
Well, that was a very easy job there, just leaving the tap in, and it is the short game that's his strength. Andrew Rate to move to 8 under par.
A quick putt right to left this one.
Yeah, you could really see the swing at the end of that as the pace came off it. See a brolly there. What were the weather conditions like through the week?
Well, a bit damp as we watch Chris come in across the green at 2 here, and hit it. He'll be chunnering under his breath. Doesn't show a lot of emotion, but a nice par 3 on the second. Not an easy hole.
As Marcus Breer said, these first 6 holes can be a bit tricky, so you want to get through them without any blemishes. McIntosh has not had one yet this week, but he has now, Paul.
Yes, and that'll have been a shock to him, and he's rattled that one by as well. Not the start that he would have wanted, but experienced enough to know there's a long way to go.
Kingston to make an early move. Wonderful tee shot. And that is a very well-deserved birdie too at the second to get to 6 under par. There's a little bit of work left in this as well.
Yes, he was a little giddy with that par-saving putt, but that's what he was doing all day in the second round. 64, mopping those up, no problem at all.
It was a bogey for Gergler and a par for Rate at the second. McIntosh's lead is trimmed to 2 shots following his first bogey of the week. We'll be back with more action after this break.
Welcome back to the Legends Tour highlight show here at the Riegler and Partner Legends in Austria. Earlier in the week, a group of our legends took part in a par 3 challenge a few miles down the road. It was a pure knockout, last man standing. Let's see how it went. So, the par 3 showdown means our legends get the rockstar treatment at Graz Andritz. 10 lucky youngsters who'd played off for the right to caddy at this tournament got to watch some shenanigans as everyone geared up for the competition. The format itself was pretty simple. 9 holes with hole 1 just for fun. Well, unless you're standing too close to the former US Open champion Michael Campbell on the first tee. No one was hurt, luckily. This is where the fun ended though, and the serious stuff began. Holes 2 to 8 was pure knockout. The legend with the worst score on each hole was out, meaning that by the time the field got to 9, there were just 3 of them left. They were Frenchman Thomas Levey, taking some advice from his caddy there, South African James Kingston, and local favourite and unofficial host for the week, Marcus Brea. All part of the final hole, which meant a shootout for the prize. The host chose a drop zone in a bunker, and this was the winning nearest the pin pitch. James Kingston, who'd not put a foot wrong all afternoon, went home with the spoils. A pretty nice cheque for €1,500. And no matter how much fun they're having, it's always competitive, isn't it? It's time to get back to the final round action here from the Riegler Partner and Legends. Let's head back to the commentary team.
Mark Farry picked up his first birdie of the day at the 7th, and he added a second courtesy of this delightful chip shot at the par 5 10th. Another red number at 12 got him to 7 under. 63-year-old Chris Williams bogeyed the 4th, but he got his round heading in the right direction with a birdie at 6, and this magnificent approach set up an eagle at the very next hole. He's a 3 times Legends Tour winner, including at Trevose last year. James Kingston made the most of the par 5s as he birdied 7 and poured this putt in for another one at the 9th. He birdied those 2 holes in all 3 rounds this week. Euan McIntosh bounced straight back from the 5 at the first with a birdie 2 at the 188-yard second. Absolutely spot on with the clubbing. The putt found the bottom of the cup, and 4 pars would follow before a birdie at 7 got him under par for the day and 12 under for the tournament. Joachim Hegman is going along very nicely, but it's Kingston and Rate who are now McIntosh's nearest challengers on 8 under. But that 4-shot gap is looking ominous, Paul.
Yes, it certainly is. Euan, who does give it a good hit, but unfortunately this is his 3rd into the par 5 9th, and he's let that one go.
Yeah, that one might be heading to the left, but that's actually not too bad. He's given himself a lot of green to work with.
It's a good miss there, particularly on the left side of that flag is an awful hump.
Well, that is looking a little bit damp now as the rain starts to come down. That's James Kingston's ball on its way. I only needed a couple more revolutions and that one might have found the bottom of the cup, but that looks rather damp.
Yeah, pretty unpleasant it became in certain just small periods of time through the day, but the par 5s are the ones that the players this week have eaten up here around Moorhof.
Georgie's been out there following the final group.
So that's Gary Wollstone down for a birdie. Well, McIntosh was wayward off the tee and is off the green by about 20 yards for 3.
McIntosh, he's got plenty of green to work with, but this is important for momentum here, isn't it?
Yes, just trying to drive this one a long way for it to go, and you can see the right to left, that hump there is an awkward one, but he's below the hole, gives himself a chance.
He's looking a little bit frustrated out there. Important that he remembers that he's still the man in charge of this tournament, although if Williams can find the bottom of the cup, for his second eagle of the day. That would change, and he would have a lot more pressure on him. Just coming up a little shy, though. Should be an easy tap-in for the birdie.
Yeah, going back to Euan there, it's very, very difficult to add a good score after a 64 as he had in the second round, but Chris is just going along nicely there, explaining to his caddy what's going on.
Yeah, there are a few people just starting to move into position behind this man now. And whilst things aren't going his way, oh, and that will be another drop shot. Things aren't going as he would want today, but he's got to remember, if he was given this position at the start of the week, he would have bitten your hand off for it, although things are looking a lot more open now, with 7 players within 3 shots of McIntosh as the final group head into the back 9. James Kingston off the tee on the 12th hole, just 336 yards. We're going to see some TrackMan numbers here, Paul.
Yeah, James, one of the longer hitters on the tour, and what the pros are looking for is the ball speed. That's a critical number on this chart here.
Georgie has been catching up with our leader.
Euan, with through 9, how are you feeling?
Yeah, it could be better. Haven't played that great, to be honest. So level par, it's not that bad, I suppose. I would have liked it. I bogeyed 9 there, so hit a poor tee shot. So 6 at a par 5's never good, but we've just got to keep going, see what's what.
McIntosh not sounding full of the joys of life there, Paul.
No, again, but he's got loads and loads of experience as we watch Andy Rate's second shot into this short par 4 12th.
And that's nicely controlled, just a little bit of spin there. Picking up, it was really interesting what you were saying about that TrackMan chart, that it's ball speed that the pros are looking for. It was Kingston's tee shot as he now plays his second. Why ball speed most of all?
Well, it's really showing centeredness of hit with the driver, so it's not just about clubhead speed, it's where you hit it on the face of that driver. What a shot from James, bringing it to a standstill, having landed on the downslope. Happy days, James.
Marcus Breer said earlier, you're likely to have a few shots out of the trees, and that's exactly what McIntosh has got here. Third shot, rain pouring.
Yeah, he had to keep it low under the branches, yet get it up to carry the bunker that he's just avoided there, so trouble ahead for Euan.
We've seen him scrambling for pars on the par 5s rather than making easy birdies, as the likes of Kingston and even this man here, Williams, has done. He's had an eagle, of course. Oh, he's nearly slam dunked that.
Well, talk about knowing your numbers. Absolutely spot on there from Chris.
McIntosh, wedge in hand. Can he fly this all the way?
Yeah, he needs to, just to land it on this flat bit. Oh, and he struck it beautifully. Did you see it just grab there? That was a great strike from you, and bit of speed needed.
Right, from beyond the hole. Sunshine's out now.
Yeah, it's those showers coming down awful. Go on, Andy, hit it. Oh, and it was right in the middle.
So it will be an easy par, but he needs birdies now, doesn't he, to close the gap on McIntosh.
Yeah, he does chase him, but it's nice to see him out there again, and a full season ahead we'll see Andy on the top of the leaderboard a few more times, I'm sure.
Williams for his birdie. Oh, was not expecting that to miss.
No, I think that was a little misread there. The stroke looked okay, and it just broke a little to the right, and a disappointing par 4 for Chris Williams.
Using the claw grip, something that we're seeing more and more on tour these days, popularised by the likes of Justin Rose.
Yeah, just find a way. I'm not. What do you call that kind of grip that James has got there? But it's one that works, that's for sure.
Kingston holds it and moves to 10 under par. He is on the charge with 4 birdies in his previous 6 holes. McIntosh still leads on -11, but you sense he needs to find some positive momentum to stay out in front. Join us after the break to see how it all unfolds. Welcome back to the Riegler and partner legends from Austria. Nicholas Fast finished off his first Legends Tour event with a par at 18 for a closing 75. To go with rounds of 72 and 68, his 1 under par total would see him finish in a tie for 30th. Defending champion Maurizio Molina had a good week. He finished birdie in the final round for scores of 73, 67 and 70 that put him just outside the top 10 on -6. Michael Johnson was also making his debut. He bogeyed the last for a 72 and a -4 total, so he ends the week king of the castle. James Kingston completed the set of birdies at all 4 par 5s by chipping it close from a tricky stance at 12. This one moved him to 11 under and into a tie at the top of the leaderboard alongside McIntosh. But he gave that shot away at the very next hole. This par putt never really had a chance, and he was back to -10. Euan McIntosh made pars at 11 and 12, but he missed the green on the par 3 13th and had to settle for a bogey when his second shot didn't reach the green. It's getting very tense. Those bogeys for Kingston and McIntosh have brought Rate and Williams back into things. Hegman and Farry have posted 8 under par in the clubhouse as we go to the final par 3, Paul.
Only playing 179 yards, but a tight pin just cut over the bunker on the front left-hand side of this green.
Well, he didn't look like he was impressed, but he's actually got a pretty good break there. If that plugs over on that face, there's no chance of saving a par, but looks like he's come down into the flat of the bunker. McIntosh, ball below his feet here.
Yeah, and this was the tree that he hit in his 64 round yesterday, but far enough back to get it up and over. Doesn't like it. Has he got enough legs? The pin's at the back of the green, but he's done okay there.
That is going to be a real test of the nerves at this stage. A nice lengthy putt.
Nothing going for James here. The green running away from him. Oh, and you could see he was just trying to land that ever so softly, and oops, a mess for James.
Adilson de Silva. Well, he likes his bright outfits, doesn't he?
Just thinking, if he had Chris Williams' caddy, it'd be an explosion in a paint factory, wouldn't it?
But he is cruising along very nicely. There's going to be some bend and break in that one, though. A little ridge between his ball and the hole. Great to see the fans out and enjoying some sunshine now, and this is the touch putt for McIntosh on 15.
Yeah, and this is just after a brief delay that we had for a torrential downpour, so the sun shines out again, it's warm. Go on, Euan. Go on, Euan. Oh, that's going to test his nerves yet again.
It's one of those. He was making mincemeat of them for birdie throughout the week, but a different proposition when they're for par, as this chip shot is now for Kingston.
Yeah, not a lot of room to work with, James. Nice and soft. Let the slope take the ball down, and he's played that beautifully.
It's a lovely touch, but it is going to be a dropped shot at a vital time in this tournament when he was just starting to put the pressure on McIntosh. De Silva to get to 9 under par.
And on the back of this performance after the invitation this week, he will guarantee him top 5 into the Jersey Legends, which is the next tournament on the tour.
Yeah, it could be quite a story, this one. Just shows what one invite and one good result can do if he can snowball that into a full season. McIntosh, the knee knocker for par.
Oh, using all his experience there. That's a huge putt for Euan.
Yeah, you could see there was a spring in the step. Kingston does tap in for his bogey, and that's back-to-back bogeys. He also dropped a shot on the 15th in a real deluge, the downpour that forced that short stoppage in play, so perhaps a little bit unlucky with the timing of playing certain holes. De Silva finishing up on 18, and he's certainly going to bring plenty of colour to the circuit, Paul.
Yes, he is a great addition, and hopefully he can have a nice career out here.
Rounds of 65, 73 and 70. 8 under par for the Brazilian, who hit the opening tee shot at the Rio 2016 Olympics. Those back-to-back bogeys for Kingston mean McIntosh has the solo lead once again, despite not having a birdie since the 7th. Wolstenholme is 1 over par for his final round as we join the leader on the 16th tee.
Yeah, lots of room right and long of this flag here. Doesn't want to be flirting with the bunker short and online.
Well, that's exactly what he's done. Carries it by mere inches, and that is getting better and better all the time.
Yeah, I think if you ask Euan, he's probably pulled that tee shot there, but he'll be delighted when he sees it.
James Kingston really needs to find at least one birdie in these closing couple of holes, and he's got a wedge in his hand into 17.
Yeah, James looking to get this with inside 12 feet, I would think, here. Set himself up. Oh, he's pulled that. He'll be disappointed with that one. Outside chance.
Yeah, just half a club long. He'll be relying on the putter now, as this man, Gary Wolstenholme, has done so well down the years.
Yeah, one of the best putters on the Legends Tour and one of the most accurate players as well, Gary, from tee to green. A little bit shorter pace there, but a wonderful ambassador for our game.
He's playing in the final group alongside Euan McIntosh, who has this to move to 11 under par and open up a 2-shot gap, which will be a lot more comfortable. Oh, he liked it, but it just slid by on the low side.
And there's leaderboards all around that Euan would be, I'm pretty sure, would be watching all the way around just to see where he is. And like you said, Kit, just that extra shot he would have taken him in front of James Kingston.
Gary Wolstenholme and Euan McIntosh, two players who've come back to the professional ranks or joined it for senior golf. Gary Wolstenholme turning pro at 48. McIntosh barely picked up a club between the ages of 33 and 46 after a dalliance on the European Tour earlier in his career.
Big moment for James. Needs to put the pressure on. Can he hold this left to righter on 17 for a birdie?
Looks good. Oh, just dies away below the hole as the pace comes off it, though.
Yeah, just the pace there. James will be disappointed. Just maybe 90 yards or so in, taking 3 to get down.
McIntosh is really grinding out there, but he's still in control of this tournament. It's in his hands with just 2 holes to play. Welcome back to the Riegler and Partner Legends, where this man, Euan McIntosh, has a 1-shot lead. Just 2 holes for him left to play. What are they facing on the 17th, Paul?
Well, it's just a short par 4. There are 2 fairway bunkers that shouldn't come into play for most of the players, and then it's just a little pitch on from around about 90 yards. Let's see what Euan can do.
Driver in hand, so he's playing it aggressively.
The 2 fairway bunkers won't be in play as he caught that one out the middle. He's hit it down the middle, but I don't think there was a centred hit looking at those stats.
Chris Williams on the final hole, looking for a birdie to get to 8 under par.
Wow, like throwing darts for Chris. And that was the form that he showed throughout the week. Some superlative iron play.
Gary Wolstenholme, exactly where you'd expect to find him, in the fairway.
We would expect to find this short iron round about the hole, although he's turned away from that one. Well, where James Kingston finished. Disappointing from Gary.
Thomas Gergler, over 200 starts on the DP World Tour to his name. Just a little flick. Absolutely masterful control.
Yeah, that's what you should be doing. Well played, Thomas. Winner on the Challenge Tour, but didn't manage to get a victory on the DP World Tour.
Kingston didn't birdie 17, 1 shot behind. Has to birdie 18 really to put the pressure on McIntosh. Perhaps a little reaction to just going slightly long and left on 17 with that one, Paul.
Yeah, an outside chance, but again, an iron shot there that James would be disappointed with.
Gergel has just knocked it in tight. Can McIntosh follow suit?
From around about 90 yards for you and tops, I would think here. Can he get it spinning? Oh, he's just the adrenaline just taking it over. Oh, no.
Wow, this is very interesting. His chipping hasn't been absolutely stellar today from what we've seen.
Long range opportunity for Andrew Ray, right to left. Slow putt here up this green. And he's misread that one.
Got the pace spot on though, which is important from that range, isn't it really? You're going to two-putt them, or look to two-putt it more often than you're going to hole it. So to get the pace spot on, so important.
Well, as you quite rightly said, Kit, struggling with the chip in, so a sensible play. Out with a putter, up a severe slope and then onto a green that runs away from him.
Oh, well, all in all, judged that reasonably well. He's coming through a lot of fairway grass there, and it's going to be a bit wet.
I'll come back to that one in a minute, James. You've got to think this is a must-make. Right to left, swinging away from him, this putt.
Birdie to tie the lead. And again, like 17, just shy of pace.
Yeah, not so much a putt at fault, but another great week from James Kingston. What a player he is, and really he's one of the men to beat every week that he tees it up.
9 under par sets the target then. Well, Gary Wolstenholme not completely out of this. If he can pull out a birdie here and do the same at the last.
Yeah, we saw James coming up short and missing to the right. More pace on from this from Gary. Oh, and it just a little bit more pace, kept it on the high side. Good try though.
Yeah, Wolstenholme to tap in and stay at 7 under par. So we'll need a miracle, holding the second shot to at least tie James Kingston in the clubhouse.
For Euan to tidy up, and you're saying, Kit, there, a bad putt will always get closer than a bad chip. Little left to right in this one to save his par.
Aiming inside the hole, and it's just caught enough of the right edge at that pace. So a good up and down after going long.
There's a little right to left in this for Chris. Closing birdie would be worth a few extra euros.
Doesn't touch the edge of the hole. Just seen a couple of those makeable birdie putts get away from Williams on the back 9 today. But still a very good week. 7 under par, rounds of 69, 69 and 71 today. And this is the final hole. McIntosh requiring a par to win. What's he facing?
Well, it's a nice tee shot down 18 through a chute, but if you just pull it a little bit too far to the left, the trees come out and then your second shot is obscured over that bunker there. It's a generous tee shot, but it's one that you've got to take plenty of care with.
It's a lovely little fade. What are the numbers telling us?
Well, the numbers say that he's hit that one right out the middle of the club. The swing speed was down, but the ball speed was up, and what a fantastic tee shot under pressure from Euan McIntosh.
Andy Ray, just to finish off, a little bit of work to do for a closing par. No problem whatsoever. He pops that in, so another player into the clubhouse on 7 under par. And as you say, Paul, great to see him back playing after what he's been through earlier in his career.
Yeah, spent a bit of time over in Asia coaching, but nice to see him out here playing. Got his card through the qualifying school, what was it, 2 years ago?
Wolstenholme, hybrid in his hand going into 18, and hates it.
Yes, we're giving Gary the big build-up with his accuracy and lets us down there, but no, wonderful player. But missed it on the right side. Plenty of room to get his chip and putt in there now. Huge moment. Lots of deep breaths here for Euan. absolutely perfect. Middle of the fairway, taking this right of the flag. A little bit of draw would be fine.
The adrenaline sure to be pumping. That can make the ball fly a little bit further. Has he got it right?
Now just pulled it away again, but he's fine. He's flag high and he's putting uphill. 2 putts going to do the job.
Yeah, it almost looks like he'll be putting through a valley there. A lot better than if he'd have fallen either side. Thomas Riegler, as you said, Paul, down the left-hand side. Overhanging limbs very much in play.
Yeah, he's got to start this way right and pull it back. Get that face shut to the path. Spin it right to left. You've done a good job there, Tom.
Well, that is an excellent shot considering where he was. Just about pin high. Going to be a quick putt though, coming down off of that shoulder on the green.
I think Thomas likes Austria. He had a good tournament in October, didn't he, when he played? Around here now, Gary, absolute expert at these. Using a lot of loft on it, face a little open, but look at the speed through the hitting area.
Just brushed that away beautifully. Got a slight kick forward off of that downslope though. Crowds around the 18th green. And Euan McIntosh knows exactly what he has to do to win his first Legends Tour title. 2 putts from here and the trophy is his.
Deep breath, would have liked it a bit closer. 3 feet. Should make it, but what about the environment around him?
Riegler, another player with a chance to just improve his paycheck by getting to 8 under par with a birdie at the last.
Good try.
Well, he had a go. Great try from Thomas and another good week on the Legends Tour for him. He wishes we were playing in Austria every week, I think.
Well, with scenes like that, I don't blame him. Absolutely beautiful, just north of the second largest city in Austria, Graz. As Wolstenholme, hopefully his final shot of the week.
Well, Gary, it was a weary one, but it found the bottom of the cup, and a good week for Gary. He'll be delighted with that.
Efficient, I think, is the best way to describe that. Tickles it in the front door for a closing 73.
And Thomas just clearing up, leaving the stage clear for Euan.
Well done.
Ooh, in it went.
So it's good now, as you say, following up a third in this event in autumn last year with what will be another very good finish today. Well, this is what you practice for, isn't it?
It is. Years and years and years of experience. Euan, a fantastic boy golfer, represented Scotland all around the world, but this is for his biggest moment as a professional.
In it goes. Brilliant for Euan McIntosh. He wins the Riegler and Partner Legends here at Murhoff Golf Club. His first ever win on the Legends Tour. Brilliant to see someone who went away from the professional game. He's come back and he's got his rewards. A huge victory by the slenderest of margins from a charging James Kingston.
Euan, congratulations. First question, how do you feel?
Yeah, it's okay now. Yeah, okay now. Yeah, I didn't play very well today, so nervous at the start, and then I don't know, everything I tried to do didn't really seem to come off, but I was scoreboard watching the whole way around, so I kind of just knew how to get over the line.
Were you aware what happened while you were on 13 and while James finished 16?
Yeah, I was watching him on 16 and 15, yeah. I knew he was playing well, and he was really unlucky because he played 15 in a downpour and we stopped. So he had to hit his tee shot and he was miles back, so I was really unlucky.
A worthy winner and a fantastic week, Paul.
Brilliant for Euan, and what was a perfect week, and thanks to our host at Moorhoff.
So That's all we've got time for from this edition of the Legends Tour Highlight Show. We're off to Jersey next month. We look forward to seeing you then.